my thoughts on dance, culture, and everyday life. All right, I'm back again. Let me just turn on some lights. It was a great long weekend. May 1st was a holiday, and I also took Friday off as a vacation day, so we had what we call a long weekend. Sarah and I decided to go to the mountains, where her mother has a beautiful house. The weather was perfect, around 20 to 25 degrees. Everything was green, the sun was shining, and we were able to relax deeply. We slept a lot. Here at home, noise sometimes wakes us in the middle of the night, especially if the neighbor upstairs walks in high heels. It doesn't usually bother me, but Sarah wakes up. We've already asked the neighbors to try to keep the noise down. But honestly, sometimes it doesn't matter what kind of shoes they're wearing. Flip-flops with wooden soles can be just as noisy. In Italy, when we have wooden floors instead of tiles, we usually walk barefoot or wear socks at home. Personally, I prefer being barefoot, especially since my floor is warm. These neighbors are quieter than the previous ones, but still, sometimes it's too much. In our neighborhood, if there's a problem like a dog barking constantly, we can call a general emergency number, similar to 911, and the fire department may come to check if the dog is alone or needs help. Regarding trash, we have specialized dumpsters. Organic waste has to be collected in a specific bag, and we bring it to a designated dumpster. There's one for paper, another for plastic, and so on. Animals can be attracted to trash if it's not collected regularly. We've even had bears come into the city, which is why buildings now need to have indoor dumpsters. Here, waste collection is organized by day. For example, undifferentiated trash is collected daily, but plastic is only collected on Thursday mornings. I sometimes forget to put out the plastic bag. If that happens, I have to run back upstairs while driving the kids to school. We've asked for more dumpsters, but the building administrator hasn't responded. They just take the money and don't do much in return. That's why I told Sarah that next time we move, I want to buy a standalone house, not in a building or compound. Just a home in the countryside, maybe near the sea in Cuba, surrounded by trees. Of course, a bigger house means more cleaning, higher heating bills, and more maintenance. Everything has its pros and cons. Back in Santiago de Cuba, where I was born, even in the city, people usually have a piece of land around their houses. We had guava, lemon, avocado, and mango trees. Some of the fruit even came from neighboring yards. The branches would stretch across boundaries. Mango season is around June and July. We have many kinds of mangoes in Cuba. The first to ripen is called papalino, small and greenish yellow when ripe. It's not the best in terms of quality. Then we have a variety called pineapple mango because of its sweet smell and large size. The last to ripen is the Toledo, very small and very sweet. There's also one called mamey mango, which smells like the mamey fruit. It's a bit sour, not overly sweet, but still delicious. When I was young, my mother used to make sweets and marmalade with mangoes. Personally, I think mango is the best fruit in the world. In Europe, mangoes can cost up to €5 per kilo, sometimes more if flown in. But it's never the same taste as the ones back home. Now let me talk about dance. I usually listen to recordings on this topic, and although I don't always do the exercises, I use a transcription tool and then ask ChatGPT to extract the vocabulary from B1 to C2 levels. That helps me focus on the more advanced words and improve my English. Dance, to me, is more than movement. It's a way to relieve stress, share with others, or simply feel better when I'm alone. Sometimes, when I'm cleaning or washing dishes and feeling a little down, I put on Cuban music, salsa or son, and I start dancing around the house. It gives me rhythm and energy. In Cuba, especially in places like Santiago, we've preserved African traditions through dance and music. Despite colonization and centuries passing, many of those rhythms and chants are still alive. As a child, I would hear songs in Yoruba, even though I didn't understand the language. We would simply repeat what the elders sang. These songs were part of celebrations and religious traditions. We dance for each Orisha, or African deity. Each one has a specific rhythm and movement. Over time, these gods were syncretized with Catholic saints. For example, one Orisha corresponds to Saint Lazarus, another to the Virgin Mary. This was how people managed to keep their traditions while conforming to the dominant religion. Every time I hear the drums, I feel something inside me. It's like it's in my blood. Even if I don't understand every word, I feel the connection. Dance, for me, is tradition, identity, and culture. Now, can everyone dance? I believe so. Of course, not everyone will be a professional, but anyone can enjoy dancing. Growing up in Cuba, we were exposed to music constantly. You hear music everywhere, on the radio, at home, in the streets. That exposure creates a natural rhythm. When I moved to Europe, I learned to ski at 30. I'm not the best skier, but I enjoy it. The same goes for dance. You don't have to be perfect. Just enjoy it. I didn't go to dance school. I learned by watching and practicing. I was shy at first, but once I got past that, I started to enjoy it more. My kids dance a bit because they see me and Sarah dancing, but they're not as interested. The environment matters. In Cuba, kids grow up with music all the time. Here, it's less common to have music playing in the background at home. When I first danced at parties here, someone once told me not to dance like that because it looked too sexual. But in Cuba, dancing is expressive, energetic. It doesn't necessarily have a sexual meaning. In Cuba, at parties, everyone dances with everyone. It's about fun, not flirting. Sometimes that cultural misunderstanding can cause issues. I remember an Italian woman breaking up with her Cuban boyfriend just because he was dancing with other girls. She didn't understand that it wasn't personal, it's just how we celebrate. At my wedding, we danced with everyone. My mother danced with me, and Sarah's father danced with her. That's the spirit of dance in our culture. So yes, dance means joy, identity, culture, and freedom to me. It's something I'll always carry, no matter where I live. Next Monday, I won't be able to join the session because I'll be in Berlin for a meeting, but I'll see you all on the 19th. Enjoy your week.